Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. Crown of Ash is a 1 to 4 player worker placement game from Card Noir. Now, I've already done a Kickstarter preview of the game, and in this video, we're going to do a solo playthrough. So let's get it to the table. So we're set up for solo play, and this is a preview copy of the game, so any content, components, rules may be different from what you see here. The setup for the game is similar for 2 players, where each faction has a starting building tiles defended by their lowest cost fighter cards in the region that they control. The AI has a dice that dictates which region of the game board is active, and a deck of cards that list the actions available, and a tracker to see which cards it will pull from the market. Lastly, the Citadel is owned by the AI and not the king. The level of difficulty is dictated by the fighter card placed in the centre, and the AI starts with no resources or fate card. Now we're set up, let's play. Okay, I've moved a few components around so you can see everything a bit more clearly. The building tiles and the fighter cards have been shunted onto the board. Looks a little bit busy. Normally they're set off from the board, but as I said, you can see everything now. The player mats, meeples, area control tokens and combat cards are off to the side, but I will be discussing what resources and victory points we have as the game goes on. On the main board there are various locations that we can visit. We have buildings where we can claim resources, combat spaces where we can attack the enemy trying to take control of their region, and the Citadel in the centre. At the top of the board you can claim gold, and down here is an area where you can place your minion to build. As for play, I take my turn as normal, but the AI is going to roll a dice, activate one of these regions, draw one of their cards and carry out the associated action. This is the fight track card that dictates which of these cards they'll take during the game, and this will move down, meaning they'll get stronger and stronger fighter cards as the game continues. And when playing solo, the AI will go last. Now I'm in a little bit of a dilemma already. There are 2 fighter cards that I want, this yellow one and this white one. If I get the white fighter, I have a white fighter here as well, and that's going to allow me to gain a bonus modifier if I take those 2 into combat. But this is my fate card showing a yellow and black fighters, meaning if I get any of those associated fighter types, they'll grant me additional victory points at the end of the game. So I think for my first action, I'm going to go here and I'm going to claim 2 resources. So I gain 1 ash and 1 sulphur. Now this area on the side of the building locations is the tax. And if you claim resources from another faction's building locations, they get this tax as a passive resource. So they become mine. Now, because I've gone to this location, I can swap out and adjust fighters that I have in this area, and these hopefully protect the region from combat. So I think I'm going to do that. So my 2 fighter card is going to sit in here. So I now have a combat strength of 3. And you can only adjust their fighters in a defensive position if you visit the location or take a build action for that region. Now, I've carried out my action, taken my resources, I've adjusted fighter cards in the defensive positions for that region, and I can now attempt to purchase one of these cards or raise a fighter from the market area. And you'll do this at the end of every turn. So the resources I have is 1 ash and 1 sulphur. I actually start the game with 2 gold as well. And at first glance, I can't really afford anything. I do want this one here, but that's going to cost me 2 sulphur, and I only have 1. Now, gold is normally used to purchase structures from this area, but it can be used as any type of resource, kind of like a wild type. So what I'm going to do is pay 1 sulphur and 1 gold as sulphur and claim this card. And I need to refill immediately. And these go back into my supply. So that's the end of my turn. Over to the AI. We'll roll the dice. 4. Now, each region is a segment separated by these crevices. So we have region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So region 4 is going to be down here by me. So we draw their card and it shows a number of actions that AI can take during this turn. Now this means if the area is controlled by another player, they will attempt to attack it. If it's uncontrolled or controlled by the AI, they'll then go to the Citadel. If they can't do that, they'll carry out this action here, which is to gain resources and raise a fighter from the market area. Now, as this is controlled by me, they are going to attempt to take it off me. So when you attack a region, you can take up to 2 of your fighter cards to attack that region. The defending player must use what's here. Now, as the AI faction only has 1 card, they can only take this card into battle. So at the minute, it's strength 2 against combat value of 3. Now, each faction comes with a deck of 5 combat cards, and you'll use these in combat to adjust your combat value. These are like modifiers, and they'll also have a reward and loss compensation that you'll get whether you win or lose a combat. Now, for the AI, we shuffle them, and we randomly assign 1 face down. But I get to choose which card I take into battle. Now, I have a combat strength of 3, they have 2, and I will win any ties. Now, I don't want to lose this area early on in the game, so I'm going to play this card, which is going to give me a combat modifier of 3. So my total is now 6. And for the AI, well, they only played their 1 modifier card, so they have a strength value of 3 and -6, so I win that combat. So I retain control. This goes into the graveyard. Mine stay there, and these get discarded. Now, both myself and the faction cannot use those combat cards that we've just played until we've used all cards in the deck, in which case they get reshuffled back into your play area. Now, I'm just bringing the cards back in so you can see the rewards we get. I won the battle, so I take the gold from this green symbol here, and the AI will gain 1 resource. But for the AI, they get victory points instead of gaining any of these resources during the game. So now I can discard these cards. And they'll have a meeple here, obviously, to show that they've had combat in that area. That's the end of their turn. Back over to me. Now, I think that's quite an expensive tile, and it's level 1. So this is quite good. It costs 3 gold. But if you build it, every time you land there, you gain 2 gold. And it also has a tax value of 1 as well. I'm quite tempted with these 2 here. Now, because my fate card shows yellow and black fighters, and this provides ash and sulfur, I think I'm probably going to buy this. So I pay 1 gold. I'll put my meeple here, and I'll place it here. I could go there, because it can go into a uncontrolled area, or I can actually place it on top of buildings I've already got. And these provide victory points at the end of the round. Now, I take control of this region, and I also get to place any fighters in the defensive positions, and I have 1 here, and I think I'm going to do that. In fact, I am going to change this. I'm going to take these white ones here. You'll see why now. It's because when you build a structure, you can take all the resources that it provides just for building it. So I get 4 bone, and I get to place my level 2 fighter card that I purchased last turn here. These go into my supply, and you must refresh the market area every time you take a tile. Now, the reason I swapped is if I'd taken this one, I could have got this black fighter here, and yes, it will provide me with victory points, but its strength is only 1. But because I got these 4 bone, I can now take this white fighter card here with a strength of 2. So I pay my resources, take this card into my play area, draw another one to refill. It's another white fighter, and these go back to the supply. Over to the AI. Area 2, that's here, the coast. Draw their card. Whoops. So they're going to attack the citadel. They can't do that because they own it. So they're going to carry out this action, which is move to the next nearest resource and raise a fighter. So they'll go into this area, and they're going to claim 2 victory points instead of getting the blood and the bone. So they're on 3 victory points now. And now they're going to claim a fighter from the market. Now, when doing so, this card here dictates which tier they take. So at the top of the track, and that shows tier 1. These 3 cards are tier 1, and they always take from the right. So this now becomes one of their fighters. Also, just like in my turn, they now have an opportunity to bolster up their defensive positions. And they must do so with the most powerful combination of cards. Now, they only have 1, so this will slip into here. This drops down 1. It means that next they're going to start taking cards from level 2 or tier 2. Now, This area here doesn't have a building structure, but I could land here, take these resources. It just means at the end of the round that nobody claims victory points for this area. I would like to get some ash. I could go here, but the AI faction would gain 1 resource due to this tax area. Now I can't place my minion here because these spaces are reserved for 3 and 4 player games only. So I think I'm going to build again. So put my meeple here. This area can hold any number of meeples. And I think I'm now going to build the building structure that I wanted to earlier. I'm going to put that here. That's going to cost me a gold. Now this is worth 2 victory points at the end of the round, but any tile underneath provides 1 additional victory point. So I claim 2 ash and 1 sulfur for building that. They go into my supply. I could swap out some fighters. See, I have a white fighter here and a white fighter here, so I would get that +1 modifier. But I'm thinking of pulling these cards out, keeping them separate and attacking the citadel later. So I think I'm going to pay 2 ash, gain a black fighter into the supply. That's quite a nice card actually. Over to the AI. Okay. That's 3. So this is here, the village. So they're going to attack, but they have no fighter cards, so they'll ignore that action. If it was uncontrolled or controlled by them, they would build. They can't do that because they don't own that area. So they're going to carry out this action, which is to gain a resource and claim a fighter. So they'll place theirs here. They gain 4 victory points for that. But as I control this region, I get 2 ash. So I get to take these 2 into my supply. So they raise a fighter at tier 2 now. So they're going to take this card here, which is strength 5, quite powerful. And this will move down. And that's tier 2 again. Refill the market area. So for my last action, I can't build. I've spent all my gold. I could go and get some up here. But instead, I think I'm going to go here. And I am going to claim these 3 bone. And I will place my white fighter here just to protect that region. I wasn't going to, but since they got this powerful card, I think I need to start making sure that my areas are properly defended. Now for my resources, I have 1 sulfur, 3 ash and 3 bone. Not enough to buy anything there. And I have no gold to make up for any losses, so I won't buy anything this turn. So the AI's last turn, region 6, that's up here in the mountains. What are they going to do? Oh, they're just going to claim the resource. But they can't because I've blocked that location, which is a shame because now they're going to attack it with this guy here. So this is going to be a tough battle. So strength 5 against strength 3. Don't think I'm going to win this. I could do a dice roll. That would certainly cause me to lose because that would just give me +1. I want to save that one for the citadel. +0, but I get to resurrect a fighter. So I will, I'm going to choose my dice. So what does the AI get? Ah, their dice as well. So this means they have a strength of 5, I have a strength of 3, but we both get to roll a d6 and add that result to our combat value. So the AI first, 5. So no, I can't win this. 2, no. So I lose the combat here. So I gain 2 gold for that. And the AI gains 1 victory point. These go into my graveyard and they take control of my area. which is a shame because I lose that victory point on the last turn. And sorry, there should be a meeple here for the combat. And that's going to be quite tough to take over, strength 5. Right, that's the end of the round. And now what we do is add up the victory points. So for me, I get 2 victory points here, another 2 here, and 1 for the tile underneath. So mine is 5. And the AI faction, they have 1, 2, 3, but they also control the citadel. And this track here shows the number of victory points that each faction gets when they hold a citadel at the end of the round. So as it's in the first round, the AI faction will gain 3 victory points. So that's a total of 6 for them. So after round 1, the AI has 14 victory points and I have 4. So take our meeples back. Now at the end of the round, the fighter cards, they stay as they are in the market, but the structure tiles, they get replenished. So these will get removed and we draw another 4. Okay, so round 2, we also get our fighters back into our hands. These have come from the graveyard. So for my first action, I think I'm going to claim some. I'm going to claim these resources. So I want 2 ash, 1 sulfur. And then I'm going to spend 4 ash and 2 bone. But I'm just thinking first, shall I bolster this area? I think I will. So before I pay, I'm going to remove that card out, put this one in. So I now have 2 white fighters in this area, which gives me a +1 bonus modifier to any combat. So now I've done that, I can spend these. It's quite a lot of resources, but I get this card, and that's quite a nice, powerful card. There we go. That's also nice as well. It's a black card, which will be good for my fate, but it is for ash. I could go here next turn, claim these 3. I do have 1 ash in the bank. They would get a victory point for it, which will allow me to get that card, which will boost up my black and yellow cards for my fate and additional victory points. But over to the AI. 1. Okay, up in the volcano, and they are going to build. Now, because they control that area, they can build. They don't need to look to get resources or a fighter. Now, that is really frustrating because they take the rightmost tile and they put it onto there. And if you remember, I'd said I wanted those. But they get 2 victory points because this here means they gain any 2 resources, but they don't claim them. They get victory points instead. Now, I can go there and get some ash, but they'll get a victory point as well. And I did want that 3 ash, so that is really frustrating. Because they've taken an action in this region, which is the build, they have to bolster with the strongest possible. They only have 1 card in hand. Back over to me. I need to redraw here, and that's good too. So actually, instead of going here, I can build here now with 4 ash, or here with 2. So I'll take a build action as well, and I'm going to build this here. I was thinking of building it on top of these, but once you place the structure tile on top, anything underneath is only worth 1. So I'll be reducing the value of my structure tiles by 1. I don't really want to do that yet. I want to rack up those victory points to catch up the AI. So that's going to cost me a gold. I do get 2 sulfur. I do need to protect it. I'm going to put 2 of my black fighters in there. Now, they get a +1 modifier. And I know I said I wanted my black fighters for attacking the citadel, but I've claimed those. I can now buy this for 4 sulfur, 1 bone. And I now have 2 yellow fighters instead of 2 black fighters. And that's a level 2 fighter as well. Okay, over to the AI. Not worried about any attacks at the minute because they have no cards. They've only claimed 2 cards from the market area, and both of them are on the board. So, all the dice. Area 3, that's down here in the village. They'll need to shuffle these cards now. How are they going to stitch me up now? By going to the resource space. So, they gain 4 victory points, but I do get to Ash. And that's the end of their turn. Back over to me for my turn 3. I keep forgetting to refill these every time. I can build. I've got 1 gold left. I would have liked to have gone here to claim these resources, but they've been taken. So really my options are to go here and claim blood and bone or any 2 resources, but the AI would get victory points. Do I need sulfur at the minute? There's nothing really here for that requires sulfur, apart from here, that's 1. But yellow cards are what I need for my fate card. Now, if you look at the top of the fighter cards, there are 4 different colours, red, white, black and yellow. Basically, the colour at the top of the card matches the predominant type of resource that you need to pay for that card. So I am going to build. That's going to cost me 1 gold. Let me just tidy these up. So I am out of gold. Which one? I am going to take this one. Yeah, I'll take that one. That's going to get me 4 ash immediately just for building. And I'm going to keep that there because I'm going to spend that to claim this black fighter. We're running low on tier 1 cards at the minute. I do want to bolster this. So what I'm going to do is move my yellow fighter off. Place it with these 2 and gain my +1 modifier there. So that now has a combat strength of 6. I've got 3 yellow cards to take the citadel. I'll get +2 modifier for that. Over to the AI. And refill, of course. I like that as well. I want that. But I have no gold. 2. At the coast again. They're going to attack it. They can't because they own it. As it's owned, they're going to build. So place their meeples here. A lot of construction this turn. They'll take this one, place it on top. They can't swap out any fighters because they haven't got any in their hand. But they do gain 4 victory points. And look, I remembered. Right, my last turn. I do need to take the citadel now because I can't afford to give the AI faction any more victory points for having control of it. So I am going to attack the citadel. And when you do, you've got an option of attacking the flanks or going straight on. Now, if you attack here, you get a +1 modifier. Attack here, it's 0. If you attack here, which can take any number of meeples, it's a -1 modifier to the faction attacking. So I'll go here and block this space. So just in case this card forces the AI faction to attack, they'll have to go here. So I'll play my 3 cards. I have 3 cards of the same colour, which means I get a +2 modifier to my attack. So my attack is 9, +1 here, it's 10 against 3. So they'll take their card, they have 3 left. And for me, I could probably get away with playing 0. Because if that's a 4, the highest they can get is 7. The next highest card would be the dice, where they could get a maximum of 6, but they used that on their last turn. I can't remember what other card they've used, because when you play combat cards, you put them onto your player area face up, but you're not allowed to look through another faction's combat cards. So I can see the top card on their player board, but not what's underneath. So I'm going to stay with 0. I do get 3 gold when I win. and I say when I win, and yet they play their lowest as well. So for winning, I get 3 gold. They get to resurrect a fighter, but they have nothing in their graveyard at the minute. This will get discarded, as do these. Now, when attacking, any fighter cards you put forward for the attack, whether at the Citadel or another faction's region, you have to put all of those played cards into those defensive positions. I couldn't now choose to pull those cards out back into my play area. These now must sit here and defend. So you have to choose wisely. Like here, I've played only 2 1-fighter cards, but because they're the same colour, they do get that +1 modifier. So these cards will sit tidy here, looking smugly at everyone. This will go on top, and this will change to show that I own the Citadel. Take them off. Okay, AI's last turn. 4. Back down into the desert. They're going to attack. They have no fighter cards still. The only one they have was this one that was sitting on the throne, or sitting in the Citadel, that I usurped. Because they can't carry out this action, they don't own, or it's uncontrolled here, so they can't attack the Citadel, again for the same reason, having no fighter cards. So they are going to move to the nearest resource space and raise a fighter. Claim 2 resources, or victory points, but I do get one of my choice. And I'm sat on a lot of ash, which is not helping me. So I'm going to gain some blood. Now they get to raise a fighter, a level 2 or tier 2 fighter from the right hand side. That is a powerful card. It gets refilled. I am so happy I took the blood. I should be able to claim that next turn. And this now drops down, which means the next card that the AI takes is going to be level 3. Okay, scoring phase. I've forgotten to add my token here. You'd have probably seen a pop-up earlier saying that I would do it now. So for the AI, they score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as I said before, it doesn't matter about the value of any structure tile at the bottom of the pile. They are all worth 1 once covered. Now for me, so I also own 3 regions. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just for those regions. But I also control the Citadel. So that's an additional 4 points, which is 12. Okay, clear up. Okay, heading into round 3, the AI is on 33 victory points and I have just 17. Right, I've got a lot of gold. Now we're starting to bring out some level 2 building tiles. A little bit more expensive, but they're worth 3 victory points each. And this one here means I can resurrect a fighter. The AI faction has taken back their fighters from the graveyard. I have none, so I need to focus on getting fighters this turn. So for my first action, I need some blood. There isn't any on the board. Well, I could go there and get them a victory point. I will. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take 2 blood. They gain 1 victory point. And I'm going to spend 5 ash, 2 blood. It's a load of resources to gain this fighter here. Obviously, as I don't own this region, I cannot swap out any fighters because they don't belong to me. AI. Area 2, the coast. They're going to attack the Citadel. So they ignore what they're going to do here. They're going to move all the way to the Citadel. They have to attack with their strongest cards. They do get the bonus 1 modifier for attacking the flank because they're the only ones there. So they have a strength value of 8, 9. I also have a strength value of 9. I'll show you the cards that I've got first. I've got +4 and +1. I think I'm going to have to spend my +4 just to be sure. because the defender wins any ties. And I'm not sure what cards the defender, I think they've got their 3 and their 4. So I'll put that over there for them. This here, sorry, +4 for me. Okay. They've used their strongest card. Strength value 13 each. So I win that based on it being a tie. Luckily, these go into the discard or the graveyard. They gain 2 victory points because they don't get gold. And I gain any resource of my choice. I am going to get a blood. Right, over to me for my second turn. I want that. But first I am going to build. Spend 2 gold. Where to build? I want somewhere that is defended. Now all of mine are worth 2 on top, so I'm not really bothered about covering them up. So I am going to go, I'll go here. I gain 3 blood. I can swap out some fighters, so I am going to take my starter card out, replace it with strength 4. I still keep that +1 bonus. And now I'm going to buy, with 4 blood and 1 ash, I'm going to buy this card here. Level 2. Okay, finally got a yellow 1-up. And I've got one there, but it's only worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. Now look here, the tax here is 1 gold and any 1 resource. That's quite nice. So AI. 4. They're going to come down to here. They're going to build, they can't, so they're going to use my resource space. They can't build because I control it. They get 3 victory points, but I get 1 sulfur. I do want that. I am going to attack. Now I would like to take this one back. It's only worth 1 victory point, but doing so means that they'll take, if I win, this card goes back into their graveyard and they'll be able to pull that back later. So I want to keep that one on the board. I don't want it going anywhere else where it can attack me. I am going to attack here. It'd be nice to go here. They have strength 3. Here it's only strength 2, so I'm more likely to win here. And we've only got 1 card left each. But if memory serves me right, I'm thinking that one is the +3 card, which means that they would have a strength of 5. I've got a strength of 6. If I'd gone there, it would have been 6 against 6, and they would have won. So yeah, I'm right. So they lose. These go to the graveyard. The only thing in doing that, I've just realised, is I've just given them pairs of same fighter cards. 2 red, 2 white. So that when they attack, they're going to get bonus modifiers for either pair. They gain 2 victory points for the loss, but I gain 2 gold. Right, all my cards come back now, as do the AI's factions. Oops, I've done the wrong ones. So we've got a full hand of cards for the next combat. Right, AI's turn. Oh, hang on, did they raise a fighter here? If I remember, they went down to here. So that should be attack the citadel. Yeah, so they didn't raise a fighter. My apologies, I'll do that now. So they take a level 3 fighter, put them in here. That gets replaced. And this will move up. So they're going to go back to taking from tier 1. Let's move these up a bit. Yeah, if I remember, yeah, they couldn't build because this area was mine, so they used the resource space and then raise a fighter. I just forgot to do that. Okay, their action 6. They're going to come up to here. So they've run out of cards. Shuffle. They're going to attack. They can't. So they're going to attack the citadel. Now, had anything else come up here, like build or use the resource space, this card would have gone in here. And they would have had a strength of, that's 11, plus a +1 modifier for being both red. So that area would have been out of bounds for the rest of the game for me. But they are going to attack the citadel. They do only have 1 card. So at the minute, they have to go into this space, +0. So it's 6 against 9. So again, the most they could get is 10 with their +4 card, or 12 if they roll a 6. So I need to consider that. So I'll play my card here. They've got all their cards back as well. This is where it gets really risky now. You want to save your cards for battles that you know you're going to win or know you're going to lose. And when it could be either way, it's a really difficult decision. So they draw a random card. Now they've used +3 and I've used the dice. So they've got 9. I've already got 9 as well. So the roll of the dice is going to do nothing. I win. But that's a rubbish roll. Regardless, I get 1 victory point. And they gain 2 victory points as well. This goes into their discard. I've got quite a lot of gold. I can build. I've got some strong areas. Yeah, so I think I'm going to build. I'm going to take this one for 2 gold. I'm going to stick it here because I've got strength 6 here. I've got strength 6 there as well. But I get 3 sulfur for doing so. These are my resources at the minute. Not enough. Well, not enough for what I want. Oh, I could actually. I'm going to spend 1 and just claim this one here. I'm not going to swap out any of my fighters because I like this combination. AI 5. Here, the forest. Attack the citadel. They can't. They're going to use my resource space. They gain 3 victory points, but I get 1 gold. Plus, I get a resource of any choice. So I'm going to take a bone. They are going to raise a fighter. They're back to tier 1. So that goes into here. Now, because we've run out of tier 1 cards, we refill with tier 2. And that will move down 1. Okay, scoring phase. So for the AI faction, they get 2, 3, 4. For me, I should get quite a lot for this. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus holding the citadel in round 3 gives me an extra 5. So the AI faction is still winning. It's 50 to them and 38 to me. And now the cleanup phase. Okay. The AI has a lot of powerful cards in their hand, all of similar colours. I'm going to need to get some fighters in preparation for being attacked. So for my first action, I'm going to go here, gain 2 ash, 2 bone. I am then going to spend my resources, 3 each of bone, ash and sulfur. It's a hefty one to claim this card here. Can't refill that. Refills with a tier 3 fighter. Not going to swap anyone out. Oh, no, I won't, no. 2. Over to here. They're going to build. They can't. They're going to use the next available resource space. So they move down here. They gain 3 victory points. But I get a gold and any 1 resource. I am going to go for sulfur. They claim a tier 2 here. Refill. And they move down. There are no tier 2 fighters left. So I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack here. Bring in both my fighters. So I get a +1 modifier for those 2. So I'm attacking with 7. And they have 3. So, cards. Okay. Yep. So they attack with 4. See, I was going to play my 0 card and I'm glad I didn't. So I have strength of 5, 6, 7, 8. And theirs is 2, 3, +4 is 7. So I win just. Had I used my 0 card, it would have been a draw and I would have lost. So I gain 2 gold. They gain 2 victory points. The fighters go to their graveyard and mine take their place with that +1 modifier. I can't buy anyone. I don't have... oh, I do actually. I could. I've got a lot of gold. So I can spend a gold as a sulfur, gold as a blood, and a sulfur as a sulfur. So that's 2 sulfur, 1 blood, and claim this card here. They get replaced by the next one, so I think I just shunt these down and stick this here, I think. I'm not sure if I need to shunt them down or just keep them as they were. But we're out of fighter cards. That's never happened to me before. Over to the AI. 4. Back down to the desert. Oh, they're just going to claim the resource. 3 victory points. I gain a sulfur. Had that space been blocked by a minion, they would have looked to have attacked and they would have absolutely hammered me, I think. I could build again. I think I'm going to. I'm going to build, try and get my victory points up. So, for 2 gold, I'm going to build this structure here. On top there. This gets replaced. Note that these have run out already, so I've had to reshuffle them. That gets me 2 sulfur, 1 ash, and a bone. Can I buy anything with what I have? Not really. So what I might do is spend a blood and a gold just to claim this fighter, so I have something to attack with later. But I might. So that's one I bought. I might actually swap out, just protect that area. So I really should have done that before I bought the card, but I'm using a card I already had in my hand, so shouldn't be a problem. AI. Over to here, the forest. Yeah, they are going to attack. A new one was coming. It's not badly defended, so they'll attack. they're going to come at me with the biggest possible combination they can. So let me just have a look. So that will give them 6 + 1, 7. That's a lone black fighter. So it's going to be here, I think. So they're probably going to use, yeah, 6 and 3. So they're going to come here. That is 9. That's 10. 10 against my 5. Now, the only way I could possibly win, I think, is if I use... No, I've used it, my dice, so I can't win this battle. So I am going to play 0 regardless. They will play this card. They get +1, I get +0. So they win. They gain 2 resources or victory points. I get to resurrect a fighter from my graveyard into my hand, but I don't have any. Discard, discard. Now I do. And they take the position. And I don't think I'm going to see that region for the remainder of the game. Okay, 1 turn left each. Can I take the area somewhere? I can't buy anything from here. I've got no gold. Now, at the end of the game, you gain 1 victory point for every 3 resource of one kind that you own. So I'd gain 1 victory point for that, none for that. And if I go here, I'm still not going to get enough to top that up. If I went there, I'd get 1 extra victory point. So I think instead I'm going to try and, if I attack there, that's 1 extra victory point. I'm not really sure what to do. You do get victory points for gold as well, but you must have 2 gold to gain 1 victory point. I don't have any, and that only provides 1. I think I've got nothing to lose, so I am going to go here to attack. Bring in these 2 cards. There would be silly. They will choose their card. I am going to go all in. So I have 7. Ha! They have 5. I mean, that's just luck. There's no tactics in that at all. I gain 1 resource. I'll gain an ash. They do get to resurrect a fighter into their hand. So they'll take the strongest one, which will be yellow. This one goes. That one goes into their graveyard. I'll take these. Take their land. Now their next turn. 3. Come down to the village. Now, if it stays like this, I've got a good chance of getting some victory points to sneak past them. At the minute, they have 59. And I've got 38. So I am quite far behind. So shuffle these. Draw. They are going to attack. I'll come and try and take my village. And they'll come at me. Now, I have a strength actually of 6. So it's not too bad. But they're going to go all in. So that's a good combination. Yeah, so their strongest combination is the 2 white fighters here. Yep. So that's going to get them the +1. So they're coming in with 7, and I've got 6. I've only got that, so I've got strength 9. And for them, oh, that should be, that's theirs, that should be discarded. Sorry, on top. And then they have a dice, so it comes down to a dice roll. So at the minute, it's 9 against 5, 6, 7. There's quite a lot of points there. Okay, let's do this. 5, yeah, they take my area in the last turn. So these go into my graveyard. They'll take up that position. And this could be the decider, because there's 5 victory points there. So that's the end of the game. We still need to do the end of round scoring and then end of game scoring. So the AI, for that last round, they will score 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They score 9 victory points for that round. And now for me, so that's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I get 6 for keeping control of the citadel. And now what I need to do is calculate any victory points I get from my resources. So I only get 1, because these don't make multiples of 3 for each type. And lastly, I need to look at any cards that I bought from the fighter area that match these colours and add up their Roman numerals. So all of these are black. So I've got a yellow fighter here. These are white. I've got 3 yellow fighters here. These are white. That's a starting card. Oh, that's not even mine anyway. So those are yellow. So I'll just clear the board for this. So I'll get rid of my starter card, don't need that one, I'll put that here. So I gain 1, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. So from the cards I bought, matching my fate card, I get 12 victory points. Okay, the final scores of the game, the AI has 68 and I have 69. I've beaten the AI faction by 1 point. That was very close. I thought the battle at the end of the game in this area here would have been the deciding factor for the blue faction, but I managed to pull through by the skin of my teeth. It may be because in the first couple of rounds there wasn't that much combat from the AI. I've had quite a few games where the AI has done combat after combat and just ransacked the land. So I score very few victory points. I did manage to control the citadel for 3 turns, which gets me a lot of victory points as well. If you've noticed any mistakes, please let me know in the comments. I hope I've caught them and put some notes up where I realise I've made errors. And I know sometimes I forgot to put down structure tiles and areas of control, but they were caught up later, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.